restructure the debt when in fact they hadn't. And the next thing they're saying, we're still in talks, we're still talking. They said we're going to treat all debtors as equals. And the next thing is ZESCO paid that $80 million. When ZESCO paid that $80 million, there were concerns from those that were saying, why are you paying China this money? You said you're going to treat everyone as equals. So there was a slowdown in that. And now that we are being told we only need 2 more signatures before the debt can be structured. Meaning they're telling us we have not succeeded in restructuring it. We will restructure it. Now, this debt restructuring does not mean more money in the pockets. Because you are assuming that from the time they came in, they were paying the debt that they are saying that PF owed. They have not paid anything. They would have had a very good excuse to say, well, the money that was we've been having, we've been paying. Now, what did they do to our source of money? The Copper Belt, in my view, is a place where we can make a lot of money. We can get resources from our mines. They have run down KCM, they have run down Mopani, there's nothing that's coming from there. It has been almost personalized, I would say that. Personalized to the extent that the processes that were engaged in getting persons with interest in those, the legitimate ones were put aside. And we saw people or other companies springing up and suddenly taking over. Vedanta, you heard the president say, Vedanta is not coming back, Vedanta is not coming back. And suddenly he's proud to announce that Vedanta is coming back. What did they give him? What are we getting from KCM? In the mines, we used to get mineral royalty taxes. What did they do when they came in? They said these monies are deductible. Meaning that when we collect the taxes from the mine, and at the end of the year or whenever they are going to account, they are going to say, okay, the money that we gave you, we are deducting from this, so that government, in essence, is not making any money. We were collecting a lot of money from the mines that were going into development. But the friends to President Hakainde Hichilema are in the mining sector, and now they've been given some sort of a holiday by making that money deductible. We have to refund them every time they pay monies in form of taxes. We have to. Why are we refunding them our money? Look at what Ibrahim Traore is doing in his country, where the country now owns their resources. Look at what Boko is doing in Botswana. The resources are being brought to benefit the country. Look at what Ghana is doing, what other countries have started doing. Senegal, Mali, they're saying these are our resources. We must benefit from these resources. These resources should benefit us. But we have a government that's a Mzungu Konde kind of government that thinks that foreign investment is the way to go. Why don't we own our own resources? He had promised to say, I have friends who are willing to come in and they'll bring in $1.2 billion the moment I'm president. Have they brought that $1.2 billion? Where are your friends who promised that they would bring this money? The answer is in our resources. That's where the answer is. You can't kill the agricultural sector and expect to thrive, expect to have food security. Our intention was that let us be food secure as a country. Let us support the farmer to grow food so that we are food secure. What do? They come and sell everything that is there. Eastern Province alone is capable of producing enough food for the whole country. I remember there was the time I was there, we had a record harvest of at least close to 1 million metric tons of maize, which is half or close to above half of what we consume as a country. Now, if we are going to replicate this in other areas, we saw how that northern province, where the rain belt is right now, we used to give them fertilizers, we used to give them seed. What did they do? They cut down the numbers and took the numbers to southern province, where there are no rains in southern province. What have we done? We've affected the harvest in the northern province. We should have been making use of
just
the resources.
Hold your thought there.
Have.
Let's try to see if we can squeeze in a caller. Good afternoon. Who do we have on the line? Oh, we lost you. 0955 855 953. Yes, cutting down.
We should have been deriving our benefit from the northern province, the belt where we have the most rains, where we have the Congo basin, the Congo airflow influencing the rain pattern in the northern part of Zambia. We should be making sure that we are a food basket. Congo wants maize from Zambia. Congo wants food from Zambia. Why should you be killing the agricultural sector when you could be improving on it? It's no better than it was. We never had a time where people were sharing fertilizer in Medas.
Let's try to pick up a call.
All right.
We keep on losing that caller, but nonetheless, we're still having a few more minutes before we call it a wrap on Public Forum. And, well, he's just trying to wrap up with the state of affairs with the Zambian economy. Yes, you were talking about fertilizer.
Yes, we never had a time when people were sharing fertilizers in Medas. As a matter of fact, the problem that we had is that they were having a little too much they were selling. That's a problem that we had. Now we have them sharing one bag.
Meaning we've downsized to them having little too much.
Exactly.
To them having little that they are now
exactly
resorting to sharing.
The promise that was made by the president is that they would be having 8 to 10 pockets of fertilizers. The Eastern Province is the most disappointed. They thought, oh, we're getting 6 to 8 right now, bags of fertilizers for our produce. This man says he's a fellow farmer and you give us 10. Then suddenly he comes in and they're only getting 2, 4, and when they get the 4, they have to share in Medas with other people that are in the cooperatives. It has been a disaster. Never did we think that seed would be shared in a cup when they were getting bags to plant. If they could relook at the agriculture sector, if they could relook at our minerals.
Just hold your thought. Yes. Good afternoon. I want us to squeeze in at least a voice or two. Good afternoon. Bataitasi idipsholi yenu twalamia skapana nkane pa mix gyo twalamia skidipsholi yenu. Thank you very much for coming through. He's asked something that is not related to the conversation. Okay. Yes, please.
Yes.
I mean, these conversations are always deep when we start getting towards the end.
See, when PF was there, we had started a program where the Bank of Zambia was buying gold. Okay? Because we wanted the currency to be backed by gold. You saw that at the time we were leaving, the dollar was pretty much stabilizing. What did they do when they came in? They scrapped off that program. Now, Burkina Faso, Traore, is getting all the gold, and their currency is being backed by the gold that they have. Meaning that you are going to have a very stable currency. Let's have Bank of Zambia. President Hakainde Hichilema, let's have Bank of Zambia buy all the gold. Kasenseli, let that gold go and be bought by Bank of Zambia. Then you have a stable currency. Then you'll be able to say you are able to reduce the value, the dollar against the kwacha, because your currency will be backed by gold. What is our currency backed by now? Speculation. Speculation of saying the moment you vote for me at 10 hours, 14 hours, the dollar will gain. What's that? What's that? Give us something tangible. Let us not use speculation for purposes of stability of our currency. The mining sector is our cash cow. Never a time did we hear that Sujilite has been stolen, apart from the time when UPND came. Perhaps you never even heard that there was Sujilite.
Well, until the minister had to resign.
Yes, until the Sujilite was stolen. That's the only time you get to hear, okay, we have such minerals. We have mismanaged the areas that they purported to be competent in. They have proved to be incompetent, and if they are not going to listen to advice, the only way they can lead us is down.
And not up.
Yeah, never up.
Well, with that, Mr. Makebi, I would like you to wrap it up with obviously your stronghold when it comes to what we've been discussing here today. You being a lawyer and obviously having represented quite a number of people out there, I want you to speak under maybe 2 minutes with regards to the knowledge that people have in Zambia when it comes to to legal matters or legal knowledge as a whole. Do you think as a country we've reached at a point where if I was to be arrested today, I would be able to understand when a police officer is reading the crime that I've done, and I'll be able to maybe listen and say, okay, yes, I did this and I did not do this? Do you think we're at par with that when it comes to legal knowledge as a country?
See,
and the reason why I've asked this question is I'm going to make a very funny example here. I watch a lot of those videos, the body cam videos on YouTube by the American cops.
Yes.
They will tell you this law does not apply. And when they go to court, a civil person is able to win a cop who was reading certain laws to this person. But when I go to the police today, they would read me this law. Probably I'll just say, okay, Nanvela, and it will end there.
Okay.
Do you really think we are at this space where we can be able to understand the law?
We had a program called Access to Justice. And just 2 weeks ago, I heard that the DPP and others had gone to Dublin in Scotland for a conference on access to justice. Now, I started my practice from legal aid, where we said we are going to spread out throughout the country to every district, lawyers from legal aid, so that people have access to a lawyer. As a matter of fact, the program is such that there ought to be, or there was to be, a lawyer at every police station, not under the police, but under legal aid.
Legal aid.
Yes, to be able to help assist in the maintenance of human rights, so that people are afforded due process in this whole thing. I don't know how far that has gone under this government. I'm hoping it's something that can be implemented. But what has been there is wanton disregard of the law, prying on people's ignorance. The reason that you are told your rights upon arrest, I don't even think that people are even told. They're saying, Chos and Zapato. It's not supposed to be Chos and Zapato. You are supposed to be telling them what their rights are at that particular time. You have a right to a lawyer, or indeed a relative. Tell them you have the right to remain silent. The police are supposed to...
You have a right to make a phone call?
Yes. The police are supposed to give you access to say, we're going to talk to you. Before we talk to you, do you have a lawyer? If you don't have a lawyer, we can ask legal aid
to appoint one for you.
To give you a lawyer, or you can, any of your relatives can approach legal aid. We can wait until you have a lawyer. If you don't have a lawyer, you can even have a relative present. But this time around, you are greeted by slaps the moment you get to the police.
How to slap?
And
when
kicks,
to slap?
Exactly.
At what point to slap?
In fact, the slaps shouldn't even be there. You see that? They shouldn't even be there. No one should touch your body against your will. In an apprehension, it has to be done in a manner that maintains your dignity as a person. But it appears like there's no dignity for any person at the police or under the hands of any investigative authority. They'll interview you from morning to evening, and you are hungry. They should provide you with food.
With those, Mr. Makebi, my producer just hinted me that my time has really run out. But nonetheless, I hope that few statement there has helped somebody who's going through something with regards to the police or is going to be arrested by the police. But nonetheless, it's a story that we can still cover on another platform. Like I always say, Mr. Makebi, thank you very much for coming here. Always, time is never our best ally.
But we can make more time.
We can make more time.
Thank you.
I always say this before I close it. This is not a PF platform. This is not a UPNB platform. It is called Public Forum for one reason. These are questions that arise from the public, by the public, and we answer according to what the public wants to hear. Well, my name is Victor Mwanza. I'm out of here. Till then, the mix drill just started at about now. We'll be right back in a jiffy.
You are watching and listening to Sun FM TV on Channel 91 on Topstar and radio on 88.5 FM.